All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. It's your girl, the Hijabi Hermione. Today we're playing Tomb Raider, the original from 1996, not the 2013 reboot, for any of you who are confused about that. Okay. Looks like we have a demo mode. Okay. I'm just going to skip this. If I open this, let's hope that nothing starts if I open this. Okay, anyway, so this is my first playthrough ever, which is so exciting for me. I'm really excited to see how this goes and how this develops, and looking forward to having a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys have some fun too. So the way this is going to work, this will be an introductory sort of video. I'm going to talk a little bit about me and my experience with Tomb Raider, and then my aspirations for the Let's Play series going forwards. And then I'm going to jump into the tutorial level and play through that. You are welcome to skip ahead to the next episode if that's what you want to do, because of course in the next episode I'm going to start the base game and actually play the first level. But in this tutorial level I am also going to be giving some tips and hints about how to play the game, some things about the movement or the controls that I don't think they explain very well, or that they don't tell you anything about, actually. However, for the sake of those who do skip, I'm probably going to mention many of these tips and tricks again in future episodes, so it won't be, a big deal if you skip this episode, so that's perfectly fine. Seems like we're not getting the demo once I do this. Okay, that's great. So, my experience with the series, I should say up front, this is not my first time playing Tomb Raider. I am actually a veteran of the series. I have been playing this for years. It was one of the first video game series I played. It's one I still play to this day, and Lara Croft has a very, very special place in my heart. But I haven't played the classic games in several years. Games like Tomb Raider here, and all the ones made by Core Design, basically. So when I play through these games, it's going to be sort of like semi-blind. There will be bits that I know what's coming and bits where I actually have no clue. So when that happens, I will be figuring things out as they go. Hopefully you guys can help me and give me some tips and tricks about some of the things that maybe I miss. Aspirations for the series in general. Ultimately, I want to be able to play through all the Tomb Raider games in the franchise, including the expansions, with the exception of the expansions for Tomb Raider Underworld. For those of you who don't know, those expansions, I think, unless I'm wrong, are only available on Xbox 360, so I can't play those. This is on PC. But everything else I'm going to try and play. Some of those I am actually completely unfamiliar with. As an example, this game has an expansion called Unfinished Business. And I have never played that before, so when I get there, it's going to be completely blind, and I'm going to be making it up as I go along, which is going to be fun. In general, the less familiar I am with a game in this franchise, the less pressure I'm going to put on myself to be perfect and sort of find all the collectibles and things like that. In the case of this game, I'm sort of semi-familiar, so I'll try and find as much as I can going along, but I'm not going to expect myself to find everything. So if I miss a few secrets or a few collectibles, it's not the end of the world. So far as I know, there's no bonus level that comes from finding all of them, so that's not an issue. Otherwise, with this franchise, no, I intend to avoid cheese tactics as much as I can. So those of you who don't know, with these games, especially the classic ones, it's possible to stand on top of a ledge and shoot down at enemies, which is really easy because then you can't get hurt, but it doesn't make for a very exciting playthrough, so I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to try and jump in the fray, use some of Lara's acrobatics, make things as exciting as possible. I think that's about it. So without further ado, one last thing. So for those of you who don't know, I am playing this with a mod called the Tomb Raider Advanced Installer. Basically what it does is it allows you to play it on Windows 10 and other modern operating systems with the full music from the base game from the PlayStation, because for some reason when they released this on PC, a lot of the music didn't come with it for I don't know what reason. So I will put a link for that in the description so you guys can download it. as of this date, it doesn't require the CD, but it used to. So you may or may not need the CD in order to actually use it. I'm not sure. I don't know if it checked for my CD. I did have the CD in the computer when I installed it, so I don't know. You may or may not need the CD. But yes, I highly recommend this mod. It gives you like 1080p resolution and full music and everything. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the tutorial.
Welcome to my home. I'll take you on a guided tour.
Okay, lovely. Here we are.
Use the D-pad to go into the music room.
Yes, so exactly what she said. You use the arrow keys to move around and to turn left and right. You can also move backwards by holding down the back keys. If you hold it down, she's just going to keep jumping backwards like that. I think this is her room. She's got a fireplace there, which is cool. And only 2 candles in the whole room. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway.
Okay, let's do some tumbling. Press the jump button.
So for those of you who don't know, the jump button is the Alt key.
Now press it again and quickly press one of the directions and I'll jump that way.
There we go. She can, she can tumble sideways. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, she can tumble sideways and forwards and backwards and all these things. So the trick with this in general is that after you've pressed the jump key, you press the arrow key. You don't do it the other way. If you hold an arrow key before you press the jump key, she'll do a running jump. We will get to that later. Yeah, what's she got here? She's got a harp. She must have learned classical music growing up, I presume. I mean, that makes sense. She seems like the kind of person.
The main hall. Sorry about the crates. I'm having some things put into storage and the delivery people haven't been yet.
That's all right. I know how it is in the UK. Everyone's just like so lazy. No, I'm kidding. I've only just come here for study in like the last few months. For those who don't know, I think she'll talk about the look key actually.
Run up to a crate and while still pressing forward, press action and I'll vault up onto it. Yeah, so this is a pretty cool thing about Tomb Raider. Everything about this height of this block and a lot of things upwards to that, up to a certain height. If you just run towards it and you see I'm still holding down the move key and I just press action. Action is control. She'll climb right up on top of it. So you can do it with that one. You can also do it with crates like this. It's a pretty neat trick and actually really clever of the game designers. This used to be the ballroom, but I've converted it into my own personal gym. What do you think? Well, let's do some exercises.
Gosh, that is like, I mean, it's not geeky, but it's like something, it's similar to being like a geek.
I don't actually run everywhere. When I want to be careful, I walk. Hold down the walk button and walk to the white line.
So the walk button is the shift key, and if you hold that down, this happens. It's pretty cool.
With the walk button down, I won't fall off even if you try to make me. Go on, try it.
I'll demonstrate quickly. There we go. So she's not, no matter how much I'm pushing forwards this whole time, she's not falling off. Just be careful when you stop this, let go of the arrow key first and then the walk key, otherwise she will fall off. But yeah, so let's keep going to the edge.
If you want to look around, press and hold the look button, then press in the direction you want to look.
So this is numpad 0. This is what I was going to tell you about on the way down. It allows you to look around like this. Y-axis is inverted for some reason. Not totally sure why. But yeah, look key is really great because it helps you line up your jumps and figure out how you're doing things. All right, let's keep going.
If a jump is too far for me, I can grab the ledge and save myself from a nasty fall. Walk to the edge with the white line until I won't go any further. Then press jump immediately, followed by forward, and while I'm in the air, press and hold the action button.
So this is just like a forward jump, like what I did upstairs, except while you're in the air, you hold action, and she'll grab the ledge. You've still got to press forward and before she'll pull up. If you let go of action while she's holding, she'll just fall. So you got to pull up before you let go. Yeah, like so.
Press forward and I'll climb up.
There we go. Brilliant, right? Okay, number 3.
If I do a running jump, I can make a jump like that, no problem. Walk to the edge with the white line until I stop. Then let go of walk and tap backwards to give me a run up. Press forward and almost immediately press and hold the jump button. I won't actually jump until the last minute.
So the reason this works is because if you look around, you can see, I mean, this is a 90s game, so everything looks really ugly, but everything is sort of made out of squares, like blocks. And Lara's motion is sort of very algebraic. It's sort of perfectly keyed to a certain number of steps along these blocks. So when you're doing a running jump, this is where you press the movement keys before you press jump. She will run a full block before she jumps. And tapping the back key actually takes her basically a full block backwards. So that means she'll run right to the edge and jump like that. So, the best thing about this game is you can be sort of like very careful with your jumps and line them up very perfectly and make sure that, you can look at a situation and figure out exactly what jump you need to do to get there.
Right, this is a really big one. So do a running jump exactly as before, except while I'm in the air, press and hold the action button to make me grab the ledge.
All right, so same thing as before, like a standing jump, but we're grabbing the edge.
Nice.
And thanks, Laura. So I would normally pull up, but I want to show you something pretty cool. If you hold down the walk button, which is shift, and you pull up, she does this really cool handstand thing, which is so extra and unnecessary, but also really cool. It's going to show off her gymnastics abilities.
Try to vault up here. Press forward and hold action.
Yeah, so this is just like climbing up as before.
I can't climb up because the gap is too small. But press right and I'll shimmy sideways until there is room. Then press forward.
Yeah, it's exactly what she's saying. No matter how hard I try, I can't push up. So I can move along the edges of objects like this. Even if it's like curved like this, like you can see it's a slanted surface, I can still move sideways along it. And then once I'm here, somewhere where I can actually pull up, I can do that.
Tap backwards and I'll jump off backwards. Immediately press and hold the action button and I'll grab the ledge on the way down.
Yeah, so this is what we call a safety drop. In the classic games, you basically drop backwards, hold down action, and she grabs. And then you can drop down. So when you're dropping from a really big height, that's really useful because it minimizes the distance that she falls. So you can actually take less damage if it's a really long drop. There are some other things this game didn't really speak about in the tutorial. So on the keyboard, you've got the end key, which should be right above the arrow keys. Unless you're on a laptop, it might be somewhere different. And if you press end, she will roll 180 degrees. So she'll move one full block forwards, but turn the other way. It's really, really useful. And in later games, she can do this while she's in the air, while she's swimming, all kinds of things. But at the moment, she can only do it while running around. So it's pretty useful for like turning around and going the other way. You'll get used to it. And then the last thing that they didn't mention is she can sidestep. So next to the end key, you've got delete and page down. And delete will make her sidestep left, and page down will make her sidestep right. This is just like walking. She can't fall off an edge while doing this. And it's pretty useful because, if she comes up to like a switch and she's slightly to the side of the switch, she can, move left, right, and grab hold of things. There's some other stuff they didn't mention, like how to pick up objects, but, we'll get there when the time comes. Anyway, let's go through to the next room.
Let's go for a swim. The jump button and the directions move me around underwater.
This is actually a pretty cool swimming area. Oh, is that a statue? That looks like, I wonder what that is. Is that like Poseidon? Let's have a look. No, that looks like a woman. I wonder what that is. This is the problem with 1990s games. You just cannot make things out. Yeah, so before I go in the pool, I want to show you a cool trick, which is called the swan dive. This is also a hidden ability. Basically, when she jumps forwards, you can also press the walk key as she jumps. So you go jump forwards, walk, basically in that order, and really quickly, and she'll do this, which is pretty cool. So when she does that on land, as you can see, she will roll. But you don't want to do it from too high up because she's coming head first. And if she hits the ground from too high up head first, she will break her neck and die. So you just want to be really careful about that. But it's also a great way for entering the swimming pool, like so. Yeah. And then once you're under the surface, you move around with the arrow keys. Y-axis is inverted again, just like when you were looking. And you hold down the jump key, Alt, in order to swim around. If you look in the top right-hand corner, you'll notice there's a meter that's going down. That's her breath meter. I think most of this is intuitive. Like, this is kind of stuff that most video games have. But just in case you didn't know, that's the breath meter. Don't let it get to 0. Once it does, her health will start going down, and then eventually she'll drown, which you don't want. Yeah, and then you hold down the jump key, swim up to the surface. And there you go.
Air. Just use forward and left and right to manoeuvre around on the surface. Press jump to dive down for another swim about, or go to the edge and press action to climb out.
Yeah, so she pretty much said everything. One useful trick is if you want to get to the other side, instead of swimming across the surface like this, you can see it's really slow. It's just much easier to press jump, swim under, and then come up where you want to. Yeah, and then you hold action to climb out.
Now I'd better take off these wet clothes.
All right. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. Please, if you want to see me play the actual game, switch to the next video. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, share. Be sure to hit that bell notification so you don't miss any future videos. And I'll see you guys next time.